Every day, Mia woke up with a whirlwind of thoughts swirling around her head. She could never start her day without thinking about what to wear, what to eat, and what tasks she had to do. As the day went on, her mind would jump from one worry to the next. What if I make a mistake at work? What if people don't like me? What if I'm not good enough? These thoughts would fill her with anxiety, leaving her tired and stressed by the end of each day. Mia's habit of overthinking was not something she could turn off easily. It followed her everywhere, at work, at home, and even during her moments of relaxation. She would replay conversations in her head, questioning every word she said. It felt like she could never escape her own mind. But one afternoon, while walking home from work, Mia had an unexpected encounter that would change everything. She passed an old woman sitting on a bench by the park. The woman looked peaceful, her eyes closed as she enjoyed the warm sunlight. Mia, exhausted from the constant chatter in her mind, sat beside her. After a few minutes of silence, Mia spoke. "Excuse me, Mom, how do you stay so calm? I can never seem to stop thinking. My mind is always racing." The woman smiled softly and opened her eyes. "Ah, my dear, I know exactly what you mean. It's easy to get trapped in your own thoughts. But the key to peace is learning how to stop overthinking." Mia raised an eyebrow. "But how? My mind never shuts off." The woman chuckled, her voice gentle yet wise. "Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, I, too, was just like you, constantly worrying, always thinking about everything that could go wrong. My thoughts would consume me. One day, I found myself in the middle of a forest, feeling lost. I was trying to figure out how to get back home when I came across a small pond. The water was still, and the surface was perfectly calm. I sat by the water, staring at my reflection. For a moment, everything stopped. I realized that my mind was like that water, constantly moving, full of waves and ripples. But if I just allowed it to be still, I could find clarity." Mia listened closely, intrigued by the woman's story. "You see," the woman continued, "the more we try to control our thoughts, the more they control us. Overthinking is like stirring the water, it makes everything messy. But when you learn to let your thoughts come and go without holding onto them, you can find peace." Mia took a deep breath, trying to understand. "But how do I do that? How do I stop my mind from racing?" The woman smiled and nodded. "It's simple, but not always easy. Here's what helped me, and it might help you too. First," the woman said, "acknowledge that overthinking is a habit. Just like any other habit, it can be changed. The key is to be aware of when you're starting to overthink. As soon as you notice it, stop and take a deep breath. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 4 seconds. This will help calm your mind and bring you back to the present moment." Mia nodded, committing the technique to memory. "Second," the woman continued, "learn to focus on what you can control. Many of the things we overthink are beyond our control. Worrying about the future, for example, doesn't change what happens. Instead, focus on what you can do right now. Take action in the present moment, and the rest will follow." Mia was beginning to see a new way of thinking. "So, if I focus on the present, I won't be so anxious about the future." "Exactly," the woman said. "And third, practice gratitude. When you start feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts, take a moment to be thankful for the things you have. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have or what could go wrong to what you already have in your life. It's a powerful tool to quiet your mind." Mia felt a sense of calm as she listened to the woman's wisdom. "I think I understand. But what about the times when I can't stop thinking about a mistake I made or something I said?" The woman smiled again, her eyes filled with kindness. "Ah, that's where forgiveness comes in. Don't be too hard on yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. Instead of dwelling on them, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Then, let it go. The past is gone, and the only thing you can change is how you respond in the present." Mia's heart felt lighter as she absorbed the woman's words. She had spent so much time worrying about things that were out of her control, replaying every mistake and wondering what others thought of her. But now, she realized, she didn't have to let those thoughts define her. "Thank you," Mia said, her voice filled with gratitude. "I think I've learned something today." The woman nodded, her eyes twinkling. "Remember, dear, the mind is like a garden. If you keep planting seeds of worry and fear, that's what will grow. But if you choose peace, gratitude, and self-compassion, that's what will blossom." From that day on, Mia made an effort to practice what the woman had taught her. She learned to stop overthinking by focusing on the present, controlling what she could, and letting go of worries about the future. With time, her mind became calmer, and her days were filled with more joy and peace. And every now and then, Mia would walk by the same park bench, hoping to thank the wise woman again. But whether or not she ever saw her again, Mia knew that she had learned one of life's most important lessons: to stop overthinking and embrace the present moment.